You don't want to be seeing all that crap. We'll be coming back to that later with all these nice goodies and this and noise, and going to be throwing 555 timers in there and getting rid of the Arduino and doing all of this strange weird shit with that, I think, just for something to do. Might even see if we can find an MSG EQ7 so we can bounce them around to light and do some other funky stuff. You never know. Let's see what happens. What's this? I got more mail, but you can't see my address. Sorry, guys. As much as I'm sure you'd love to come around and visit. This is where I find. Doesn't feel like a big one. This. Said the Bishop to the actress. There we go. High secure mail now. Let's see what we've got. I've got quite a few bits actually in the mail that I've ordered. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, brilliant! This is good news. I'm just actually whinging at myself in the background. It is a little USB hub. Oh, cool. So we'll be throwing some juice into that and seeing what happens. Maybe have a quick look, see if we can understand how it works a little bit better. A couple of ICs hidden away down there. And yeah, see what goes. That'll be quite handy because it's I don't know you guys, but quite often I'm using USB bits and pieces for charging and hubs, and I've got 3 or 4 cameras in here, and so I'm running my laptop has got broken USB ports on it, so I've got 2 USB ports on there, which is a pain in the arse. But hey, so this might resolve the issue. Live in hope. And I'll let you know shortly. Hey guys, so thought I'd dig out a few extra little bits and pieces and actually give this thing a test. It's not a hub, it is a power supply. What for? It's for my Raspberry Pis. So that I can put 12 volts in and get presented with some usable sockets for powering the Raspberry Pi itself. The 12 volts power this screen and other bits and pieces. You need with the Raspberry Pi, I use external discs. You need powered USB sockets for them, which is something I've been having a problem with. I'm just looking down. I'll put this up now because it's quite interesting. The Chinglish. It's just awesome, absolutely awesome. How these guys can, well, I know it's not the first language. So the power, interesting. The power connect between the cathode and anode input is completed. Okay, used for all kind of electrical appliances. I would say it's limited to USB devices. There will be a voltage output. That's the plan. And with 2 USB output will be normal work, provide standard 5 volts. Okay. USB socket provides standard 5 volt direct USB plug in the USB socket, then can be used. Stop. Efficient synchronous rectifier where efficiency is highest 94% above. Remind, voltage on car is unstable. Have to wide input to ensure safety of your valuable electronics. Okay, so it's 9 to 40 volts, which, yeah, I mean, they're right. Your car isn't 12 volts, it's 13.5 volts. That's what it tends to run at, around 13.5 volts. It can waver around that and go down, obviously, to 12 volts, or it can actually go slightly higher, but usually around 13.5 volts on the if it's not fully regulated 12 volts, you will be around 13.5 volts. You stab something across a battery, you'll see more than 12 volts. Yes, that's quite good. So this actually could be used in 24 volt systems, trucks, that kind of stuff, 24 volt. So, first issue. I mean, it's not, so I'm just going to swap over so I can make sure that this is in frame. And we're in frame. First issue is there is no anode and cathode. There is no positive and negative supply defined. I don't know whether that there is a diode to prevent it banging, getting current in the wrong way around. But regardless, I have figured out through trial and error. I had a 50% chance, and this is why I don't do the lottery, because I got it the wrong way around. But now we have power. You can see the little LED there. Yeah, LED. So LED's lit up. This here is a load, USB load, and we have got a little meter that will give us the voltage and output. I don't know whether this is going to flicker like hell. I'll just see if I can get this round the right way up so that we can all see it together. And if you're really lucky, you might see the flash and a ginger blow could go across our room. Where should we? Yeah, but that's acceptable, isn't it? So what have we got there? Yeah, we can see that. 5.24 volts. Obviously, we shouldn't see any amps yet. Now then, this, I'm not sure if it's on maximum or minimum. Looks like we're going to find out. My power supply is saying it's currently using 140 milliamps, 1.5 watts, a 12 volts input, set at a maximum of 2 amps output. So let's hoof this in. So we saw voltage drop there, so we are definitely putting a load on it. What is the load? 1.14 amps. There we go. So we can turn that down. Just a little resistor, rheostat on top here. Variable resisting. Yeah. I'm watching this here, and I've also got my display. So that's 740 milliamps. According to my power supply, that is delivering 560 milliamps. Okay, so that works out about right, yeah? So we can drop this down. That's actually quite healthy. So we can drop it down. That's great. So what happens if we hoof it up? That's what we're interested in. So I'm watching my power supply. It is now, right, so now it's on, and I've got an amp output. Well, 1.5 amps here. So this should, unless I've blown up. So the fan, yeah, I can smell it getting warm. Be great fun if there's a huge fizzle and a pop. It doesn't actually say what the maximum ampage is. 2 amps. My power supply is delivering 1.32 amps. Voltage is dipping a little bit. It was on 5.25 amps. 5.25 volts a little while ago. 1.2, sorry, 2.2. See, the voltage is dropping now. The fan has cut in there. 2.5 amps. See, my power supply is nearly at this maximum of delivery of, yes, that's my power supply is putting out at maximum, but we're on nearly 3 amps here. That's not bad. I can feel some heat, but there, we'll drop this right down just to give it a rest. So that was actually starting to give off a bit of heat there, which is interesting to note, because if you're going to use this and plug in multiple phones, your phones can take up to 3 amps, some phones. But even if you've got a few small devices, say 4 small devices plugged in, each one pulling an amp or 2 amps, then you could end up with a bit of a problem. I'm not going to run this to destruction as much as I would like to, because I do actually want to use this. But that's all right. I will actually use it. As I say, I've got a Pi setup. No, I won't take a photo of it, because I say it's a Pi setup. It's a pile of Pi. This is stopped now, so Still a bit warm. This is actually quite warm. Ouch. That is really warm. I don't have any method to be able to test the temperature there. But what I'll do is I'm going to have a read of the documentation and make sure that see what there is, see if there is any a current, maximum current. So I'm just marking the side of here with a red marker, so that I know that's positive. Yeah, I might even contact them and find out, is there a current limit. It'll be interesting. But what I'll do is I'll put a little screenshot in the up now. Ta-da! Of where I bought it from, that kind of thing. Give them a little bit of recognition. Because to be fair, I ordered it not that long ago, and it arrived today, and it's coming up to Christmas. Can't go wrong. Anyway, it does what it says in the can at the moment. Long-term test.